What does this bus have to do with barbecue? And will this be a disaster like the last time I tried riding buses in Virginia? The Washington Metro, the system that has been moving people around the national capital area for half a century, opened its most recent expansion in 2022, the Silver Line Extension. After Phase 1 in 2014, Phase 2 brought Metro service farther out into the suburbs than ever before, to Ashburn in Loudoun County, Virginia. With 6 new stations, the extension is near universally praised for finally bringing Metro service to Dulles International Airport. However, critics point to the long journey time into DC and the poor land use around the stations, most of which are in highway medians. Love it or hate it, one thing is consistent. People have been asking me when I'm going to make a video about the Silver Line for the last 2.5 years. And today is that day. Sort of. Over the next weeks, I'm traveling to different locations on this new stretch of the Metro. Other creators have already covered the line and the stations in great detail, so I will be exploring the transportation systems around some of these Silver Line stations. And today, we're starting at Reston Town Center, the first of the 6 new stations. Hey everybody, welcome to a brand new video. I'm Tom, I'm on the Washington Metro Silver Line. The next stop is Reston Town Center, and that's where I'm gonna get off to meet with a friend. Hello.
Looks like I got here first.
Looks like you did. It's 29 down the line.
Howdy, y'all.
Thanks for joining me today.
Of course, happy to be here.
Have you been to Reston Town Center before?
Only through it, never gotten off here.
Same for me. This is a new station for me. Yeah, what is there to say about Reston Town Center?
It's Innovation Center, but the other way around, I guess.
Oh, really? It's like
Kind
mirror?
of, yeah. It's, Actually, no, it's basically identical.
It's one of the new stations that opened in November 2022 as part of the Silver Line extension to Dulles and Ashburn.
So, as you'll notice, we have a bird. This is very common for Phase 2 stations on the Silver Line. This one has one, Innovation Center, Loudoun Gateway. Dulles, I'm not sure. Ashburn, I'm not sure. But at least those 3 have one. I would imagine Herndon has one as well. Never gotten off there. I think it's just to scare away birds, which is kind of funny.
So, are you hungry?
I can be, yeah.
You want to have lunch?
I think that's a plan, sure.
I think since we're transit content creators, we should take the bus to lunch. But what should we eat?
I don't know, there's a barbecue place that has ribs.
All right, ribs it is. And how should we get there?
Ribs.
Yes, here in Reston, there is a bus service known as RIBS. It's short for Reston Internal Bus Service, and there are 5 routes in total. RIBS buses are run by Fairfax Connector, the local bus operator here in Fairfax County, Virginia. The last time I rode a Fairfax bus with a silly acronym, it was the TAG system in Springfield, which, as you may recall, was a total show. Okay, I am beyond confused. I need to sit down or something. What? So, besides the funny name Ribs, I was also just curious to see if it would be as bad as tags. So, we've decided we're going to take route Ribs 4. It still feels really funny to say Ribs.
Yeah. Better than saying the full name.
Reston Internal Bus Service. Unfortunately, the Ribs 4 runs like every 40 minutes or something. It's not great.
We hit the one, like the 2 gaps of 40 minutes.
So since we had some time before the next Ribs 4 leaves, we decided to walk from the Reston Town Center Metro Station to the Reston Town Center Transit Center. And we're just gonna wait for the Ribs 4 here. It stops at both, I believe, but we can look at more buses here.
So we're like pleasantly surprised with the amount of variety here. We've seen, I was expecting, just new flyers, same with Tom, I think, right?
Yeah.
And then we see a Gillig, and we're like, oh, they have Gilligs? And then an Orion pulls up. And this is just like...
We're nerds.
I don't know, more variety than I was expecting with ribs.
Yeah.
So.
Also, there's a connector store at the transit center here.
But not the metro station, from what I saw.
Yeah.
Which is interesting. But this was here first, I believe.
Yeah, I think this is supposed to be the transit center, but since the metro was built in the highway median, they couldn't really move it. I'm still surprised they didn't just consolidate it, because it was, what, a 5-minute walk?
Yeah, it's honestly not bad.
So about the buses, the Orions are actually the oldest in Fairfax Connector's fleet, from 2008, while the Gilligs are the newest. They're not even a year old. Fares for any of the Ribs buses cost $2.25, same as a regular Fairfax Connector route. We're on the Ribs 4, so Reston is a very new city, relatively speaking. It was founded by a man named Robert Simon in 1964. The town was bought by Gulf Oil and then later by Mobil. It was meant to be a place where people both worked and lived. Well, the people lived there, but they mostly worked in DC. So the citizens of Reston founded their own commuter bus system, the Reston Commuter Bus System, chartering private buses so that they could commute into DC and Arlington. There's a lot of information about the RCBS available online, but barely anything about the RIBS, which is unfortunate because while it's cool that these people set up their own bus service within a few years of the town being founded, I think that the history of the internal bus service is just as cool. See, it started with a pastor. Embry Rucker was a pastor at the St. Anne's Episcopal Church. Rucker had a heart for his community, so the money that was collected from tithing members was used not to build a church building, but to create the Common Ground Foundation. Thanks to Common Ground, citizens of Reston had access to a childcare center, a visiting nurses agency, a homeless shelter, which is now named after Rucker, and an organization providing emergency cash and help for people in need. Guys, this is what churches should be doing. Oh, and he also founded Ribs. That's right, in the 1970s, a church started a bus service. Well, it started with vans, but it grew to be buses, and Fairfax Connector took over the service in 1990, eventually adding routes.
So leave a like if you like Gilligs. Also, shout out to this pedestrian infrastructure. This is great for a bus stop.
So the wait was definitely longer than the ride. That's okay. The one thing, though, is the robo lady on the speaker kept saying route Rib S4. Please tell me it's Ribs 4 and not Rib S4, because otherwise we're getting barbecue for nothing. Can I have a Rib S, please? So we have arrived at Willard's. This is not a sponsorship or anything. It's just the closest place we could get ribs from the Ribs. Let's get some ribs. All right, what'd you get?
I got the North Carolina pulled pork sandwich because I'm boring and I didn't want to commit to the bit, I guess.
Well, maybe we can write pulled pork 4 back.
Pulled pork D back. Because pulled pork K. Yeah, to be consistent with their weird
robo lady.
S.
Here we go.
Good?
Oh yeah, worth the wait.
All right. Worth the ride, worth the $2.25 on ribs for ribs.
This place is cheap too.
Yeah.
This was like $11 with the drink. I live in DC, that's cheap to me. How was your barbecue?
It's really good. It's really good. It's Willard's. I've been there before. Not to this location, but never been disappointed with them.
They were fast.
Yeah, they. Before we even got the drink, the food was just like, your order's ready. I'm like, oh, okay.
We walked a few blocks to take the Ribs 3, and then we were going to transfer to Ribs 2 at the Reston Transit Center.
What's that?
First time on an Orion?
This is my first time on an Orion, yeah. I think. That I know of.
Frankly, I have no real complaints. I brought up Tags earlier, and Tags is a mess because it has inconsistent fares, inconsistent schedules, inattentive drivers. All the buses on Ribs are just the base fare. The driver stopped at our requested stops, which is a low bar, I know, but we are talking about Fairfax Connector. I have more bad experiences with them than good ones. And while the schedule for the Ribs buses is not super frequent, you have to remember we are far out in the suburbs in a town that was literally built during the boom of car culture. I'm honestly not disappointed. And I think it's really cool that the bus was set up by a pastor who saw that the people in his community had a need to move around, and so he met that need. We're at Wheelie Reston East, which, yes, opened in 2014. It's part of Phase 1 of the Silver Line. I really should have gone to Herndon instead, but I wanted to see the cool bus station attached to the train station.
So these glass door elevators are kind of silly. The interior is not glass door, but the outside is. So when they're not there, you know, but yeah.
Okay, but I had no idea that Wheelie Reston East had an underground bus station.
So this is the only bus bay that Wheelie still uses. The one on the other side of the road is now abandoned, so.
Any parting thoughts on Ribs?
It's pretty good. I mean, other than the Ribs 4 running every 40. The 20-minute service is nice. It's easy to use. It is just Fairfax Connector. There's basically no distinction between Ribs and Fairfax Connector at this point. It's just kind of one integrated thing. No, but pretty good. My thoughts. Yeah.
Next week, we're taking the Silver Line to Dulles Airport. We'll look at trains, buses, planes, whatever these are. You won't want to miss it. If you like Ribs, or if you like Ribs, please subscribe to Trains Are Awesome. Thank you so much for watching today. We'll see you next time.